good, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today I want to make a new type of video. And in this video, I basically want to talk about everything that's wrong with new age fighting games, meaning all the new ones, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, even old ones, Tekken 7, just new age fighting games in general. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. Basically, my opinion from an OG player that's been playing fighting games since I was 14, all the way to the 90s and up. Fighting games, when it came to offensive gameplay, it forced you to have to block, like play actually defensive, instead of what these new fighting games have, which is basically easy get off me tools. I don't want to block tools. That's what I call it. Armor moves, guard break moves. They just made everything way too scrubby and too easy for you to deal with things without having to think too much. Old school Street Fighter, when you getting pressured on the wall or just getting pressured in general with footsies and pokes, you just had to take it. You had to block. Street Fighter 6, you getting pressured, you do that new scrubby guard break joint. Armor absorption joint that absorbs moves and breaks your guard. You just do it, bang. You know what I'm saying? And the only way to counter it is by either doing it back or doing a parry. So it's like armor for armor. I do armor because people do it when they get mixed up and pressured. People just throw it out and you basically just gotta counter it with your own or parry. That's a scrub get off me tactic. KOF 15 has something similar with that. The guard impact quarter forward hard punch plus hard kick joint. But it wasn't as scrubby because he was really limited to doing it by the meter and stuff like that. It's still kind of a scrubby mechanic, but it wasn't like super duper spammable like that. And it was pretty punishable if somebody were to block it. In Street Fighter, that new guard impact joint breaks your guard and armor absorption, and it's just really scrubby. It's really scrubby and very spammable. I could definitely see it as the game progresses. I could see that pros are definitely gonna punish it, but for now, at lower level, mid level play is gonna be very spammable and very annoying for people to deal with. Tekken 7 also has an issue like that too with the armor moves, where you could just armor out of situations when you're getting poked, or rage art your way out of situations when you don't know what to do. You don't really need to take mix-ups and pokes too much like that. And also the damage output is too high in these fighting games. Where if you make like a read by doing some kind of armor or focus attack or whatever, you get a big reward. In older fighting games, like I said earlier, you have to take more. You have to have more defense. You have to just take the mix up and guess. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't really just get off, just do an armor move or some kind of reversal just to get yourself out of the situation. Of course, too, the games like Street Fighter, you could like dragon punch somebody or do like some move with invisible frames. But a lot of times those moves are like big risk and really unsafe. So you were taking a risk. Now it's like you could take big risks with armor moves when you're getting opened up and stuff, and it's not that much of a big risk. So a lot of new gen fighting games have these scrub mechanics, especially these crazy comeback mechanics with like the rage arts and all these armor type moves that take like half life. They just crazy comeback type stuff. So that's the main issue with fighting games. It doesn't reward you. It rewards too much button pressing and not a lot of like fundamentally solid gameplay. And the reason why they do this is to cater to new players. But it also makes the game way more chaotic and way more random at high level play. You have to bait a lot more. Like a lot of these new fighting games reward too much offensive play and not enough defensive play. So it's like if you're a defensive player, you're gonna have some trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because buttons beat out everything in these games. Buttons literally beat out everything. So that's a big issue with new gen fighting games. All these button pressings and stuff like that. And it makes it really annoying to deal with all of these things like that. Constant button pressing, constant buttons back when you playing offensive, and it just gets crazy. Um, Mortal Kombat is like a blend of everything. Mortal Kombat got arm moves, invisible frames, dollar combos. You know what I'm saying? So Mortal Kombat is kind of like a hybrid of everything. Of course, I don't have any details on the new Mortal Kombat yet, so I can't really say anything. But in general, Mortal Kombat is pretty crazy with the glitches and the matchups. Tekken 8, the heat dash stuff is, it's kind of crazy because it makes you have offense like just about all the time every time you get a move that's in heat. And I feel like in Tekken 8, characters are going to be good or bad depending on what good moves they have going to heat. So if you have a character that has bad moves that go into heat, or just a character that doesn't have a lot of good heat options, they're probably not going to be that great. So they just, put in the heat thing to, because there's some characters in Tekken that you need to be a little bit more creative to rush down with because they don't have a lot of plus frames. But the heat makes it more universal, so you can rush down a lot better and a lot easier without having to think too much about the tools your character has. So there's a lot of things you got to think about when it comes to rushing down without heat, but heat is gonna make things a lot more scrubbier. At least in Tekken, you could sidewalk and you could counter hit your way out of stuff. So I don't think the heat will be too bad, but it seems like it's kind of a scrubbier option. But it's weird though, because Tekken 8 does look better than 7. Just because the get up kicks, you don't get full combos no more off of spring kicks or nothing. There's no rage drives. Rage drives is a big problem in Tekken 7. Comeback factor is too crazy in rage drives, and some rage drives are too busted, too much damage, and too much stupidity that happens when somebody rage drives you. So Tekken 7 has that issue. So it just in general, too many new fighting games have these scrubby comeback mechanics and all this crazy stuff going on. I just hope Tekken 8 is balanced and it lowered the damage output and fix some of these issues, because it's like crazy that if you make these games for everybody to be able to win, it becomes too chaotic, and then results in tournaments become too crazy. So that's my issue with new gen fighting games, man. They don't reward like defensive play is like whatever now. Like everything is just, I'm gonna just get out of this with a button. And I think that's just whack. And it makes the game too random and annoying that you can't just pressure somebody and you have to constantly worry about them doing some crazy reaction towards you, just just to make them get off of you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what the future puts. So that's my issue with everything, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video of me talking about all these issues in fighting games. I wish fighting games rewarded more solid play, and I wish fighting games were more random. But it just seems like the newer the fighting games come and the more ages that come, everything just gonna be keep getting more random, and more scrubbier. And also the pay to win thing, it's not it. DLC is always super strong, and these companies make you pay for these characters, and it's constant pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. Buy this character, or this character's OP is DLC. I don't like that pay to win stuff. I know a lot of people, enjoyed old school games where you could just unlock characters. But nowadays these companies want money, so they're gonna keep charging you for new characters and new stages. So it is what it is. We don't live in the old school era no more. Hopefully the pots for these fighting games is gonna be up there. Street Fighter 6 got the 2 million, which is great, but that game is very random. With the whole focus and all of that, is gonna be real crazy in tournaments. So good luck to everybody trying to win that big money in that crazy game, because that game is pretty crazy. It's gonna take a while for people to start baiting all that focus tag armor, all that high damage stuff is a wild game. So hopefully the money gets better, but the scrubbier the games get, the harder it is gonna be to win that money. Hopefully Tekken 8 has big pop bonuses so everybody can want to be a pro and get it in. You know what I'm saying? More opportunities for players, more sponsors, because Street Fighter 6 is definitely going to get some big sponsored players. A lot of people are going to get sponsored for that game. So, good luck to everybody on that. So, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all want to buy Street Fighter 6 from my link, nexus.gg fightinggm. My Twitch is fightinggm_Tekken. I also do coaching for Tekken on metafy.gg fightinggm if you want some good coaching. And I'll put my HelloFresh link. Please support fresh meals to your house. 50% off, free meals. All right. And check all my other socials, all Fire GM. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all want more videos like this, please write in the comments. All right. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. and take care.